It's now time for In Case You Missed It, where we uncover the extraordinary, the hilarious, and the downright wild news stories which you might have missed the first time around. And here with reaction is our executive producer, Cameron Malmstrom.
Thank you for having me, Riley.
Of course. So today, we have 3 clips to share that all just so happen to originate from the Empire State, New York. The first clip I want to share is of Alexander Ovechkin, who on Sunday at UBS Arena in Elmont surpassed Wayne Gretzky's long-standing historic record for the most goals scored in the history of the NHL. It was a monumental achievement that cements the Washington Capitals captain as one of the greatest hockey players to ever play the game.
On the flank, cross ice, Ovechkin fires! Score! The chasing days are done! Alex Ovechkin is the greatest goal scorer in the history of the NHL!
Wow. So Cameron, I know that you're a huge hockey fan. What was it like for you to see this record finally be broken?
I never actually thought I would see it happen. You know, my whole life, I knew that Wayne Gretzky was the great one. He was the one who held this record forever. He held it for 31 years when he broke Gordie Howe's record. And just so happens to be that Ovechkin held he broke the record 31 years later as well. Just a weird twist of fate there. But yeah, I never ever thought I would see this happen because he was untouchable. And Wayne Gretzky, for the most part, holds pretty much every individual hockey record that there is, even now, other than now this one, the number of goals, which has been surpassed. But he still leads the league by a mile in overall points because he just has so many more assists than any other person. So
that's really interesting. I mean, the name recognition with Gretzky, you say Wayne Gretzky anywhere in the world, people know who you're talking about.
Yep.
This is a global champion, so that's pretty impressive. I'm stunned.
Yeah.
I'm stunned.
It was a great thing to watch. It's great for the sport of hockey. I love to see all the attention on it. I like to see another record taken away from Canada, even if we have to give it to Russia. That's okay with me. So no, it was an awesome thing to see, and I'm really happy for him and his family.
Understood. Okay, there's a second clip now that I want to share. This time of residents of the Big Apple finally getting fed up with 18 months worth of anti-Semitic marches running rampant all across their once great city. On Monday, fed-up residents threw what seemed to be feces from their balconies at a group of anti-Israel, terrorist-sympathizing protesters on the streets below. And the footage of this poetic but poopy justice, albeit, was really marvelous to see. One of the more legendary responses I think I've ever seen in my life. By the way, why didn't we think of that sooner?
That's what I was saying. This is such a brilliant move. We don't have to resort to violence like these people love and support. You know, they support the murdering of Jews. So why we would feel vindicated in wanting to punch these people in the face because they're terrible, horrible people. This is a much better solution. Why don't we just throw crap at them out the window? I love seeing this come from 30 stories, whatever that is, all the way down on them, and just their deflated faces, all bummed that all of this poop is smeared all over the windshield. And I just had to bring this clip up because that's just the best thing I saw all week.
Look, what goes around comes around in this world, okay? And you go out into the streets of New York with that nasty energy and you're sympathizing with terrorists and you expect people to just put up with it. So I'm actually happy to see that people have reached a breaking point and they're doing something about it. More power to them. I wouldn't have gone with this as my first option. It seems like there could be some collateral damage, so to speak. But
maybe the second option, maybe not the first, but yeah.
But that's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But not as interesting as this final clip that I want to share, which is of New York City's mayor, Eric Adams, the embattled man himself, who, during his weekly briefing at City Hall on Tuesday, wore this shirt saying, "In God We Trust," emblazoned with the American flag. And he shockingly refused to resist President Trump any longer.
I'm the mayor of the largest city in America. Imagine me not having a relationship with the president of the most important country on the globe. This doesn't make sense. Get over it. He's the president now. He's the president. Popular vote, electoral vote. We got to get over this. I got to deliver for our city. And that's what I need to do. And all those who are saying, "Oh, just fight and resist." I'm not part of the resist movement.
Cameron, do my own eyes and ears deceive me here?
That's what I was thinking. Like, I can't believe I heard this from him. He's really starting to maybe come around. And,
Yeah.
you know, he's a Democrat, right? So
Right.
there's only so much praise you
But
can
not
heap
your
upon
typical
these
New
people.
York Democrat.
No,
He's going to bat with Kathy Hochul and with others in his own city. This is interesting.
It's a big turnaround. You know, it's a big upgrade from who they had leading the city before.
Yeah, of course.
So, you know, he's actually growing on me a little bit. I don't want to give him too much credit, but, you know, when you come out wearing a shirt like that, in God we trust, the American flag on you, and defending President Trump, I mean, like, what else could you hope for the mayor of the biggest city in America, this Democrat? It's kind of amazing, and it just seems to me like it's more proof that the TDS in this country might just be getting a little bit better.
Yeah,
maybe? I don't know.
Maybe it is a bold strategy, though, and I think it might have to do with the election that he's facing, because Cuomo has come back from the shadows and is possibly looking to be the next mayor of the Big Apple, and that's a huge undertaking. So maybe this is risky, I guess, to do when you're in a Democrat city, generally speaking, as a Democrat who once called himself the Biden of Brooklyn, and now here he is talking about his relationship with Trump when there's an election around the corner. Very, very big gamble.
Yeah, well, you know, I think it's a good move. You know, broken clock's right twice a day, and you might as well come around to the good side eventually. And I mean, I assume you'd want him rather than Cuomo, right?
Yeah, not my first choice, but definitely above Andrew Cuomo, absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
And
we're not
Bill de
getting a
Blasio
Republican.
and Kathy Hochul. Yeah, I mean, this is very, very interesting to see from a New York Democrat. So I don't know. It gives me hope, though. Maybe you're right. Maybe people are getting over the TDS and realizing being anti-Trump isn't cool anymore, at least not for the sake of just being anti-Trump. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with his election, but this could be a really, really good move, or maybe a disastrous move for his campaign.
Yeah.
It's just hard to say. I don't know.
And honestly, when was the last time you saw a Democrat supporting wearing the American flag?
That's a good point.
That just
That's
never
a good
happens
point.
anymore. That's how you know someone's a Republican these
Yeah.
days, is that they have the American flag proudly waving outside their home.
Yeah.
And
It'd be different if he came out here wearing a Ukraine flag on his shirt. Then we'd know, oh, all right, it's clear where he stands. But to wear an American one, that is a powerful message. You're right. about
Good
that.
for him. Good for him.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
I agree with that. So thank you for being here, Cameron. I really appreciate your insights. And again, congratulations to Alexander for breaking Wayne Gretzky's record, because that's just huge. Really, it is.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me.